Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever coming at you with another commemorative and highly anticipated and highly recommended model today. Today you're going to be reviewing a JC Wings Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner in the Dreamliner house colors livery in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model from Troy's Toys based out of Overland Park, Kansas. His website is www.troystoysinc.com. Allow me to share with you some information about the history of Boeing and how they came about as an aerospace giant today. The Boeing Company was founded and incorporated in Seattle, Washington by the late William E. Boeing on July 15, 1916 as the Pacific Aerial Products Company. Then the company changed their name and became known as the Boeing Airplane Company on May 9, 1917. Boeing is the world's largest aircraft manufacturer and the world's second largest defense contractor that actually specializes in designing, manufacturing, and selling airplanes, rotorcrafts, rockets, and satellites. The corporate headquarters of the Boeing Company is located in the Fulton River District of Chicago, Illinois, where it's organized into 5 primary divisions: the Boeing Commercial Airplanes Division, the Boeing Defense Space and Securities Division, the Boeing Capital Division, the Boeing Shared Services Group Division, and the Engineering, Operation, and Technology Division. The Boeing Company just reached a prestigious milestone in the aerospace and aviation industry as it commemorated and celebrated its 100th anniversary on July 15, 2016, and after 100 years, Boeing still continues to be innovative by maintaining a standard of significant excellence as a leader in the aerospace and aviation industry in the 21st century. Alright folks, this is the box you're looking at here folks. The aircraft type, the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the Boeing title, the decal, the logo, the Dreamliner title, and then there's the model information right there below the bottom of the box. And this is the back of the box you're looking at here folks. Nothing much back there except the Boeing license decal right there and the JC Wings logo. And then you can always go to their Facebook page, JC Wings Facebook page, and get information about present and upcoming releases that they're getting ready to release down the pipe. Okay. And this is the top of the box here. You see the Boeing logo, the aircraft type, the Dreamliner title, and the model information there. And this is the bottom of the box, the same information you saw at the top of the box earlier. Okay folks, and this is the model stand you're looking at here that came with the model, and that pattern right there folks, what you see there. So when you put your model on the stand, that'll prevent the model from being damaged or scratched. That's what that pattern is there for. And then you come down here, you're looking at the little custom plaque here. This is something JC Wings been doing since 2013. You see the Boeing title and the logo, the aircraft type, and the model plaque, model scale information right there as well. This little plaque deal here, it makes the model even more attractive and appealing. You know what I'm saying? Now this little plastic bag you see here with all these little goodies in here, little parts in here featuring the 2 little toothpicks. These are the gear replacements. Stay tuned for that part as I go into detail for the purpose of these later on in the model review. Okay, with all that information out of the way about the history of Boeing, how they came about as an aerospace giant, all the details here on this box, the model stand, and the gear replacements. With no further ado, folks, here is the model. Alright, there it is, folks. The JC Wings Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner in the Dreamliner house colors livery in a 1/200 scale model. Now, allow me to share with you some information about how the Boeing 787-9 came about, okay? And this is a beauty too. The Boeing 787-9 program was officially launched in 2005. The EIS entry in service was actually scheduled for 2010, and the firm configuration was finalized on July 1st, 2010. However, due to a delay in flight testing and the time required to incorporate all the necessary flight test-driven changes, all aircraft deliveries of this variant were postponed and delayed until 2014. The first prototype 787-9, which bears the registration ship number N789EX, which you're looking at right there, made its first maiden flight from Payne Field in Everett, Washington on September 17, 2013, and was on static display at the 2014 Farnborough Air Show prior to delivery. And finally, after years of delay due to flight testing challenges, the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner was finally certified by the United States Federal Aviation Administration and the European Aviation Safety Agency for commercial service on June 16, 2014. The certification came after 5 prototype airplanes, including this one, performed more than 1,500 hours of flight testing as well as ground and laboratory testing. And after nearly a year of following the rigorous and thorough certification process, Boeing finally got its stamp of approval for the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner, certifying that the aircraft design complied with aviation regulation and is considered a safe and reliable aircraft. Auckland-based Air New Zealand, who became the actual launch customer of this aircraft, took delivery of the first Boeing 787-9, which bears the registration ship number ZK-NZE on July 8, 2014, in their distinctive all-blacks livery in a ceremony that was held at Payne Field in Everett, Washington. And its commercial flight was from Auckland, New Zealand to Sydney, Australia, which took place on August 9, 2014. Boeing is actually targeting the 787-9 to replace the 767-400ER, which will allow this aircraft to compete directly with both passenger variants of the Airbus A330 and also expand into new non-stop markets where the larger planes will not be economically viable, similar to the 787-8, which entered service in 2011. And as of January 2017, at the time of this video review posting, 635 orders have been placed on the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner by at least 30 customers, in which 186 of these aircraft have been delivered, with the remaining 449 currently on back order and are awaiting delivery. And the next generation Boeing 787 variant, the Boeing 787-10, which that aircraft was officially launched on June 18, 2013, is scheduled to enter service sometime around 2018, with the first aircraft of that variant will be delivered to launch customers Singapore Airlines. Alright, so with all that information out the way, let's get down to the nitty-gritty and allow me to show you all the details on this aircraft. And there's plenty of them on this aircraft too. Let's roll. Okay, we're going to start on the port side / left side of the aircraft, where you see a good view of the nose gears right here. The nose gear door with the partial registration on there 001, the nose cone, the pedal tubes, the windshield wipers, and the cockpit windows. I'll give you a better visual view of those later on in the review, okay? Now let's talk about this 787-9 decal between the cockpit windows and the L1 door. Alright, this is the third of 4 variants of the Boeing 787 family. The 787-3 was eventually canceled, and the 787-8 entered service in 2011, and the forthcoming 787-10 is scheduled to enter service around 2018, or the other 787 variants. And at the time of this video review posting, there are 21 airlines that are currently operating this aircraft in their fleet. Alright, Air New Zealand, based out of Auckland, they were the launch customer. Etihad Airways, based out of Abu Dhabi, they were the first Gulf carrier. United Airlines, based out of Chicago, the first North American carrier. Air Canada, based out of Montreal, Canada, the first Canadian carrier. Virgin Atlantic, based out of London, England, they're the first European carrier. LATAM Airlines, based out of Santiago, Chile, the first South American carrier. ANA All Nippon Airways, based out of Tokyo, Japan, they're the first Asian carrier. Vietnam Airlines, based out of Hanoi, Vietnam, they're the first Southeast Asian carrier. Scoot, a subsidiary of Singapore Airlines, based out of Singapore, they were the first low-cost carrier. Air China, based out of Beijing, China, they was the first Chinese carrier. Japan Airlines, based out of Tokyo, Japan. American Airlines, based out of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Hainan Airlines, based out of Beijing, capital. Xiamen Airlines, based out of Xiamen, China. Saudi Airlines, based out of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Aero Mexico, based out of Mexico City. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, based out of Amsterdam. British Airways, based out of London, England. Norwegian Air Shuttle, based out of Fornebu. Thomson Airways, based out of Luton, Bedfordshire, are the current operators of the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner aircraft. And at the time of this video review posting also, the airline is currently operating the largest fleet of the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner. As of March 2017, is Tokyo-based ANA All Nippon Airways, with 21 operating in their fleet right now. Okay, right above the L1 door you see here, see experimental. That's the experimental title. This aircraft is one of 5 Boeing 787-9 experimental prototypes that was used for flight testing as well as ground and laboratory testing. Okay, now you're looking at the logo of the various airlines above the windows here. And these are some of the airlines that have placed orders for this particular aircraft for their fleet, the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner. I'm gonna read them all to you. They from left to right. You can go look them up yourself. Okay. The airlines are Air New Zealand, United Airlines, Boeing Business Jets, Scoot, NG Aviation Limited, AirCap, Virgin Atlantic, Eric Air, Land Airlines, British Airways, Etihad Airways, ANA All Nippon Airways, Air China, Saudi Airlines, Vietnam Airlines, Korean Air, Air Lease Corporation, Air France, KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, Japan Airlines, Aero Mexico, American Airlines, Aviation Capital Group, Jet Airways, Air Canada, and SIT Group. That's from left to right. I just mentioned right there. Okay, you got the idea, all right? Okay, on the edge of the wing, you got a great view of the inboard landing right there. It's the little triangle right there, the 3 little dots right there. Very detailed and realistic there. Okay, we're still on the port side still, where you got a nice little look at these big old engines right here, featuring the Rolls-Royce logo. Okay, now the engines here, see it came down, when it came down to which engines was best suitable for this particular aircraft, there were 2 engine options available for this aircraft variant, the Boeing 787-9. The Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines and the General Electric Gen X 1B engine. However, on this particular experimental prototype 787-9, these are the Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines that was actually used on this prototype Boeing 787-9 for flight testing as well as ground and laboratory testing. And the purpose of the chevron tooth pattern on the rim of the engine you see here is for noise reduction, which results in a quieter mixing of exhaust and outside air. Okay, you also see the engine cone right here, very detailed, it's painted in blue. You see that right there, very detailed here. You also see the Rolls-Royce logo as well. All right, now I'm gonna turn this model around and let you see the fan blades on this engine, and the fan blades do spin, folks. Okay, now you're looking at the front angle of these engines, featuring the engine strike right there. As I mentioned, the fan blades do spin. Okay, and then you got a view of the gears right here on the port side, the bogey gears right here on the port side, as well as the inboard landing light right there as well. Now you're looking at the engines on the starboard side, featuring the engine strikes right there, the fan blades spin over here as well. And then you got a view of the bogey gears here on the starboard side, as well as the inboard landing lights right there on the edge of the engine right there, on the edge of the wing there as well. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Now you're looking at the front of the aircraft model, where you got a better visual view of the pilot escape hatch door. I'll show you another view of that in a moment. The cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the nose cone, the nose gears featuring the gear lights right there, the inside there, and the nose gear doors right there as well. So with that said, I'm gonna take it back to the port side because there's more information to share with you over there as well. All right, let's roll. And behind these big massive Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines, these are the bogey gears here on the port side, featuring the struts and the bogey gear door there as well. Very detailed there, folks. All right, now you're looking at the rake wingtips here on this aircraft, featuring the red navigation light. Now I'm gonna show you a different angle of these rake wingtips. So here it is, folks. All right, now you got an aerial view of the rake wingtips. How it's very detailed there as well, folks. Okay, we're at the back of the aircraft on the port side still, where you see the boat bin door right here below the Dreamliner title, and then the Dreamliner decal you see there, that's named this aircraft. This aircraft was given the name Dreamliner in July 2003 after a public naming competition was held for the 787 in which this aircraft was originally named. The E was said to have stood for various things such as environmentally friendly and efficiency. However, Boeing later revealed that the E actually stood for 8, and after casting approximately 500,000 votes in more than 160 countries around the world, the Dreamliner was the favorite choice name for this aircraft and was officially given the name the Boeing 787 Dreamliner in January 2005, as this decal can be seen on most of the 787s that are currently flying today. And okay, and right by the last door right there, you see the registration ship number N789EX. Registration ship number N789EX. This was the first of 5 Boeing 787-9 that was actually used as an experimental prototype, and the first test flight on this aircraft took place on September 17, 2013, and continued to serve as a prototype for flight testing purposes until this aircraft was eventually repainted and delivered to Air New Zealand on August 24, 2015 as registration ship number ZK-NCC. Alright. And finally, looking at this tail here with the 787-9, I was trying to figure out what that was for the longest. Now I know that's represent this variant here. If you've seen a new 787-10, it's even more beautiful. Can't wait for that to come out in the model. Yeah, it's very impressive there how it's painted in blue, different colors of blue. Very impressive, folks. Now we're at the back of the aircraft where you see the APU exhaust hole here. It is a hole there, and featuring the strobe light on this side as well as the starboard side there as well. Okay, so if you don't know what an APU stands for, it stands for auxiliary power unit, and that's what this hole is called here, folks. All right, and now you're looking at this whole aircraft from the rear view angle, very detailed, featuring the engines there, all the gears, all that on point. Okay, very impressive, folks. Okay, we on the starboard side of this aircraft where you see the realistic nose gears right here, featuring the nose gear door right here, featuring the partial registration number, the aircraft variant 787-9, the pitot tube, the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the pilot escape hatch door, the front cargo container door, the Boeing title right there, and then you come over here, the inboard landing light right there as well as these Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines there, featuring the Rolls-Royce logo right there, and the Chevron 2 detail right there, and the engine cones right there painted in blue. Very detailed there, folks. Now you got a better view of the bogey gears here on the starboard side, featuring the struts and the strut doors there as well. And now you're looking at the rake wingtips on the starboard side, featuring the green navigation light. Now I'm going to show you the angle on these rake wingtips on this side as well. Now you got an aerial view of the rake wingtips here on the starboard side. You see how it's flexing a little bit there. Very detailed there as well. Okay, we at the back of the aircraft on the starboard side still. You see the rear cargo container door, the Dreamliner decal, the registration ship number, and the aircraft variant paint here on the tail as well, the 787-9 right there. You see there, folks. Okay, before I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft and the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft, here's a feature: the gears, how they roll. They roll pretty perfect, awesome. Okay, they even tilt as well. Okay, and the nose gear even swivels as well. Okay, you see that? Okay, so with that said, allow me to show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft. All right, let's roll. Okay, now you're looking at the aerial bird's eye view. You see the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the pilot escape hatch door, the anti-collision beacon light, and then you see the airline logos here on this side here, the antennas. Oh, it's there. Then there's the satellite communications box right there, Wi-Fi box, and then there's another antenna there, and then there's the tail there, and then this little dot you see here on the horizontal stabilizer, as well as over here. Those are the illuminator lights that light up this tail here when it flies during nighttime. Now let's check out the wings here. Okay, no wing walkway, but there's the Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines from the aerial view, featuring the engine stripe, flaps, slats, and ailerons right there, the fuel dump valve, and the rake wing tip right there as well. Same over here, folks. The engines right here, Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines, the engine stripe, flaps, slats, ailerons right there on the side as well, the fuel dump valve, and the rake wingtip over here as well. Alright, now you're looking at the belly view of this aircraft. It was mostly blue under here. See the nose cone, the closed nose gear door, the open nose gear door with the nose gear right there. There's the anti-collision beacon light right here. There's the hole where the stand goes in at. Another antenna there. And the pressure relief valve. And then there's the APU housing doors right there. There's the horizontal stabilizer. Then let's talk about the gears here. Yep, perfect. And then you see the Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines there underneath, very detailed. Fuel dump valve and the rake wingtip. Same over here, folks. Gears, okay. The engine there, detailed. Fuel dump valve right there, and the rake wingtip there as well. Okay, now since I showed you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft and the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft, now I'm going to put it on that stand that I showed you earlier so you can see what it's like on the stand. So with no further ado, here is the model on the stand, folks. Okay, I finally got this model on the stand with no problem. You know, it's a pretty smooth transition there. You see it how it's all in place here on this model stand, looking at it from the port side. Gears intact there, okay. And the nose gear there as well. The nice little Rolls-Royce Trent 1010 engines there. And how these wings are flexing a little bit, okay? Now you're looking at the front of the airplane with all the gears intact. You see there, and see how it's flexing a little bit from the front angle, okay? And you're looking at this model from the tail angle with all the gears intact there. Okay, gears there. Very impressive livery here, folks. All right. And finally, looking at this model from the tail cam angle. Man, what a beauty. Woo. Okay. Before I take this model off the stand, I got in this position for a reason. And the reason is I'm going to take these gear replacements off and let you see this model at a different angle without the gears. And then I'll tell you the purpose of them gear replacements I mentioned earlier. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start at the front, the nose gear. Okay, here it is. It's magnetic as well, see? Okay, and then we take the gears here off the port side right there, very detailed. Then magnetic there as well. And finally, the bogey gear on the starboard side right there, okay? Now, I'm gonna let you see this model from a different angle. So here it is, folks. Okay, I finally got the gears off, and that was an easy transition there. And you're seeing it displayed in flight mode. Now you got one or two options from this point on. Now if you want to leave it in flight mode like it is right there, that's fine. But these gear replacements, that's the purpose of these gear replacements, to substitute the gears while you display your model in flight mode. Or you continue to keep it in gear down mode with the gears on there. Your choice. Top gears up, gear down. I choose to leave mine on there. It adds more value to the model. It makes the model more attractive and appealing. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and put these gears back on this model, take this model to stand, and go ahead and wrap up the rest of this model review, okay? Okay, find the seating configuration. Depending on the airline seating configuration, the Boeing 787-9 can seat up to 280 passengers in a 3-class cabin configurated layout, 290 passengers in a 2-class cabin configurated layout, and up to 406 passengers in a single-class cabin configurated layout, respectively. And the maximum flying range for the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner is 8,500 nautical miles, which equates to about 9,780 miles on full passenger load, and the current title holder for the longest nonstop flight utilizing the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner belongs to Chicago-based United Airlines, which currently utilizes this aircraft on their San Francisco to Singapore route, which is approximately 7,339 nautical miles, which equates to about 8,446 miles, and the actual flying time on this route clocks in at 17 hours and 15 minutes. Well, folks, this concludes this model review. Please rate and subscribe. I want to know if you got this model or you plan on getting this model. I highly recommend get this model. The only outside chance getting this model now is on eBay because most of the deals are sold out of. So with that said, take care. God bless. Stay tuned. There's more coming.